there. So today we're going to talk about General Tso's chicken. It is my absolute favorite Chinese dish. You know, lots of fried chicken and sauce, and it's sweet and spicy, and it's got broccoli and usually fried rice, and it's to die for, right? It is not Weight Watcher friendly, I will tell you that. So we're going to lighten things up today, and I'm going to show you my take on General Tso's chicken. And basically, it's going to be lightened up so that it's not really fried. And we're going to add some broccoli and some onions and kind of add a little bit more veg to it. And then we're going to lighten up the sauce as well. And this will make like 8 servings. Each serving will have 6 points. That's including some brown rice. We're not going to do fried rice. So I'm going to share with you what I've come up with is my, faux Chinese. When you're really wanting Chinese food, this is your go-to on Weight Watchers. Let's get started. Okay, so welcome to my mess. So today I'm just going to make this really informal, and I wanted to share with you, as I mentioned, the General Tso's chicken. So this is my take on it. I'm actually making a lot of extra so that I can have some this week for lunch. So this is about 2 pounds. It's not quite, but about 2 pounds. It was chicken breast, thinly sliced. I just chopped it up into chunks. I actually did chop up a small sweet onion, so that's there. And then I've added in 3 tablespoons of the cornstarch that you see there behind in the container. So 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, a little bit of salt right here, and a little bit of pepper. And we're going to basically coat all of this chicken with just that little bit of cornstarch. There's still like 3 points in that amount of cornstarch, but it goes a long way because we're making about 8 servings. I've got some leftover frozen, and it's actually thawed right now, Trader Joe's frozen broccoli. We're going to use that. You could use fresh if you like. Again, sorry for the mess. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of sesame oil. I've got some hot pepper seeds here and some sriracha just to basically, spice up the sauce that we're going to make. Some garlic. I typically use raw honey, but today I've just got regular honey, so we're going to use honey, and then some low sodium soy sauce and a little bit of mirin, which is typically used in Chinese food. And you can find any of these things really at Walmart. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Oh, you see the brown rice back there? Oh, and some toilet paper. Sorry about that. So here's the brown rice. And so I'm going to start mixing things together and show you how we get General Tso's chicken. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is add the chicken to the cornstarch, salt, and pepper. And that is a lot of chicken. And then we're just going to start. I don't like the feel of cornstarch. It's like, oh, it's one of those, scratching your hand on the chalkboard sensation. See how that just coats it really nicely. Okay, and I'm gonna go wash my hands, and I'll come back and show you the next step. So to start out, we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of the low sodium soy sauce, which we talked about. So let me open that up. It's a brand new bottle here. And we're gonna do a 1/2 cup. Okay, so just shy of a 1/2 cup. We're gonna pour that in here. I love soy sauce, so no problem with that. And then we're going to do a little bit of garlic. And so I just have this, garlic from Walmart. So I'm just gonna actually stick this in there and put, it calls for a tablespoon of garlic. So I just added about what is a tablespoon, I'm guessing. It doesn't have to be exact. And then we want 2 tablespoons of honey. So I have honey here. You could use raw honey, which I've done. It's harder to stir up. So I'm just gonna guess here. We're gonna call that 1 and call that 2. You could measure. Honey is hard to measure. You can always spray the measurement with Pam if you want. And then I'm going to do a little bit of crushed red pepper flake. Not too much, because I'm also going to add in a little bit of sriracha. Just a little teeny tiny bit. And then let's make sure that we have everything in here that we need. Oh, mirin. We need a tablespoon of mirin, so we're just going to guesstimate on this and say tablespoon of mirin. Put the lid on and shake. Okay, so I tasted this and then I added a little bit of water just to dilute it, and then I'm using some of my my chicken broth concentrate. I'm just gonna add 1 little teaspoon of that and shake again. And we should be all set. You're basically making it to taste, but trying to stay within, you know, the measurements for the points. I knew adding some chicken stock would basically keep the points low, but dilute it a little bit. It was a little strong, so, but I do have a lot of chicken, so that's where we are. I'll take you to the next step. Okay, so you want to start adding in your chicken once your oil and your pan is hot. So I'm going to add that in. So you should get a little bit of a sizzle. And then I try to get it in one layer because you've got lots of chicken and we want it to coat and brown. Okay, so it's cooking. I'm just going to start sliding the pan a little bit. You'll see that it starts to give it a really nice coating. Let those start to saute up in that, and then we'll be adding the sauce and the broccoli. So we just want to kind of saute those with the chicken. Broccoli. I actually prefer it if it's like bigger pieces, but this is what I had, so. Okay, so this is how we're progressing. So we have the broccoli, we have the chicken, we have the onions. We're just sauteing it. I'm just making sure the chicken is done, and then I'll show you the next step. I just keep turning it and kind of stirring it just to make sure that it's browning even. Okay, so do one last shake of your can of sauce. Now keep in mind the chicken had cornstarch on it, so when I pour this in, that's going to kind of mix together, and it's going to thicken everything up, so I'm going to start stirring once I pour everything in. I'm going to turn it down to about medium because I've been on pretty high. Okay, you can see that it's continuing to thicken up. The sauce, lots of broccoli. Alright, I'm going to put it on the platter and I'll show you what it looks like. So you could, of course, make your own white rice, brown rice, whatever rice you like, but just for ease, I'm using this, and we'll just portion it out because rice is kind of high in points. So I have worked it in. This is 2 cups of rice. So with the 8 servings, we get just a little bit of rice with a lot of chicken and broccoli. So okay, so here's the final product, and we've got our brown rice, we've got our chicken. I garnished it with some green onion and some sesame seeds, and so you've got chicken and broccoli and onions with the yummy sauce, and it's spicy and it's sweet, and so this is 8 portions, 6 points apiece. So it's a pretty good helping, as you can see, of food.